It's reopening day in Brooklyn for Sarah June Hair Salon.
Hi, how's it going? And I'll take your temperature.
For 108 days,
98.1, you're good.
Sarah Gilmore's popular salon was shut down as COVID-19 ravaged New York City.
My usually bustling salon on a Thursday is pretty empty.
Now, Sarah is back in, trying to navigate a business in this new pandemic world.
My business is small, and we can only fit 2 clients downstairs and two or three clients upstairs. And we used to be able to fit 10 at a time.
Halfway across the country in Temple, Texas, stores here at Pecan Plaza have been open for months.
Hello, how are you, ma'am? Good?
But now, with coronavirus cases soaring in Texas, business owners are worried. How closely are you watching these numbers?
Very closely.
Yeah, we're watching that every day.
As you see, it's empty. It used to be full, lunchtime, dinner, but now I'm afraid it's going to get worse.
Small business, the backbone of the American economy in 2 states, New York and Texas, offering 2 vastly different views of the difficulties entrepreneurs across the country are facing. New York City, initially the epicenter of the pandemic here, enforcing full shutdowns, slowly, painstakingly opening its doors for business. And in the heart of Texas, one of the last states to close down and among the first to reopen, now grappling with surging COVID cases and the prospects of a new wave of closures. 3 months ago, at the peak of the virus's devastating impact on New York State, we visited Park Slope, Brooklyn, the hip and eclectic neighborhood which was almost completely shuttered. Trying to make ends meet, hairstylist Sarah Gilmore had to get creative, mixing hair dyes and selling at-home root rescue kits. Customers can pick them up contact-free.
Thanks, Jen.
She was in the middle of paying off $80,000 in debt that she borrowed for an expansion before having to shut down. In April, she was worried the salon might not survive.
We need a more flexible loan. If our employees can stay on unemployment longer, then we might be able to survive longer. Be able to use the loan towards things that we actually need. We might be able to pivot our business somehow. It's how we survive here.
Today, she is open, but the social distancing requirements and other COVID regulations weigh heavily on Sarah's shoulders.
Day to day, the emotional toll is great, but owning a business, it's such a mantle to carry no matter what. This has just been a different mantle and a new mantle that is a lot of work.
A few blocks away, Fonda Sarah's flower shop, Zuzu's Petals, was also hit hard.
We've been closed since March 22nd.
She first opened her doors in the early 70s.
My store is named after a little girl in the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Like Jimmy Stewart's character in the movie, Fonda has overcome numerous financial challenges.
Our first major problem was in probably 1987 when the real estate market fell apart. 9/11 was a challenge. Hurricane Sandy also was a big blow to the business, but nothing in my experience measures up to this.
You're going to need 2 more roses.
She reopened in May, but only for pickup and contact-free deliveries.
There was no question that we were going to open again. You don't just walk away from something that you've built for 49 years.
Her business beginning to bloom again, albeit slowly.
We are making about 50% of what we would normally take in.
But her bills are the same as when she was making twice as much.
The nugget that is going to make us or break us is the rent that we owe for leases that we signed during a totally different economic period. I signed a lease 4 years ago with a totally different business model and a totally different business climate. And that climate and that economy is gone.
While she can have customers inside, she says they aren't set up to do that safely. However, she's committed to keep going.
It's not a question of being optimistic or pessimistic. It's a question of insisting that I'm not going to go out of business. This is just another challenge. It's a tough one. Part of what makes it less difficult is that I feel like I'm not alone and that it's a universal experience for all small business.
Hello, beautiful store.
Boutique owner Diana Kane English shared Fonda's concern. If you can't make rent, what happens?
If I can't make rent, I will close. That's what happens. I will close, I will liquidate. I could go down after 18 years because I'm closed for 2 months. That's not okay.
Her fear became a reality just a few weeks later. She had to close down her store.
I would say in early mid-April, it became clear that there wasn't going to be relief long enough and fast enough. There was no out.
She thinks the government programs could have been structured better to help the little guy.
It's been really hard, and so many other people have it as hard or harder, and like women and minority-owned businesses are getting hit so hard. And I really wish people would take a look and see if that's an acceptable collateral damage to what's going on, because I don't think it is. I just don't think it is.
Her only business now is online.
People put their heart and soul into their businesses, and at the end of the day, we don't really have anything to show for it, and we didn't have anybody who had our back.
While New York State has the virus under control for now, the case count is increasing in 37 other states. Texas with over 210,000 reported cases.
Hi, Emily.
We first met Amy Thomas and her husband Lloyd back in April, the owners of Pecan Plaza, that strip mall an hour north of Austin. Texas had one of the shortest lockdowns in the country, and Pecan Plaza welcomed back customers for pickup service, while many other states, like New York, were still shuttered.
We're so excited about seeing our customers. We're so excited about seeing our friends.
Amy also owns Zooties, a clothing and embroidery store.
Okay, Lori, do you want to see the cash register? I believe we have 3 cents in it right now. Who would have ever thought this would be happening? If anything, our parents taught us we're not quitters.
At that point, she was optimistic they would bounce back.
Do you feel like you can recoup what you've lost?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, you check back with us in a few years, and I promise you we'll still.
I'll tell you what, you check back with me in a few months.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So you invited us back, so here we are.
Yes.
How's it going?
10 weeks later, Amy and Lloyd's hopefulness has been tempered by realism.
Governor Abbott and his team all have been trying to figure out how do we balance this safety, practicing safety, as well as being able to keep open the business.
And unfortunately for all of our elected officials, there's not a manual to go by for this.
Right, but I will remind you that epidemiologists warned Governor Abbott and others that they were perhaps opening too quickly.
This is true. Yeah.
While most of Pecan Plaza's tenants say they are doing a brisk business, Joe's Pizza and Pasta is struggling there.
As you see, results now is getting worse, and I don't know when this is going to be done.
Sel Mitalia, who owns the place, says customers are wary.
It's really hard to do business, yeah. And the people that scared, man. I mean, people that scared, I don't blame them for being scared. We try to keep and do the best, but you never know.
The restaurant can only seat at 50% capacity inside.
If it takes 2-3 months, that's all my savings gone, so.
That is the story of small business. Yes, we are doing whatever we can to stay afloat, but I hope with all this, people realize how important it is to shop within your community. We do our best to support everyone, and we hope everyone supports us as well.
For other stores in Pecan Plaza, business is slowly getting back to normal.
You were very optimistic when we last spoke.
I'm still very, very optimistic. We've really gotten people back into the shop. Part of that reason is they do feel safe because it is a smaller environment, and we practice social distancing. We will wear masks. I'm still very, very optimistic.
How are you? It's been so long. I know.
Back in Brooklyn, hairstylist Sarah Gilmore also has reason to be hopeful.
Within this industry, everyone needs a haircut. It's no matter what, when we opened, it was going to be slammed. And so we are slammed for this month. I'm just hoping we get through this month, make some income before anything has to close down again.
It's that fighting spirit now fueling so many small businesses across the country.
We're holding on for dear life. We're trying hard. We're doing what we need to do to open. We'll ride the storm. We'll see what happens. We'll give it our best.
You ready?